Good morning, it's January 10th, and this is Two of My Liberal Friends. The liberals in this country sold out several years ago in the name of woke policies that the left wing of their party were promoting. And we've all heard them: climate change, remember it was global warming; diversity, equity, inclusion, better known as DEI; white privilege, oppression and discrimination; sexual identity, Black Lives Matter; safe spaces, pronouns, Me Too movement, that one seems to have disappeared; gender neutral bathrooms, and the list goes on. Well, some of these topics are now raising their heads in the wildfires in California, and not in the way the Democrats want them spoken of. Fueled by the Santa Ana winds that have reached epic speeds, we've seen 5 separate wildfires rage down from the mountains in populous towns and neighborhoods, destroying thousands of homes and other buildings, taking at least 5 lives, injuring many more, and leaving a pall of toxic smoke over the LA basin. This has forced politicians to move their separate corners. Bernie Sanders, the arch-liberal socialist senator from Vermont, of course blamed it on, you guessed it, climate change. He tweeted out that it's been 8 months since any rain fell in Los Angeles, proof of climate change, and made it clear in his mind climate change is real. It's not a hoax, that Donald Trump must face the facts and admit that an existential threat to the crisis has become. On the right, Republicans pointed out to some other culprits. They quickly identified the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, and the myriads of Democrats in the state legislature and other government positions throughout the state. They point out that the wildfires have become a staple of life in California, and these liberal leaders have basically ignored them and failed to take any action that might be deemed preventative. The 4 top costing insurance claim fires all have occurred in the last 10 years and all in California. But behind these predictable rhetorical excesses and tactical finger-pointing are long smoldering questions about public policy, ranging from land use decisions to competent governance. The fires raging across California this week are a perfect storm of years of inept preparation combined with overzealous environmental and water policies, a failure to rein in monopolistic utilities spreading special interest money across the state, and a political insurance crisis. Insurers are bailing out of California. But things changed this week because it now is the upscale swath of beachside neighborhoods stretching from Pacific Palisades to Malibu, where the flames jumped the Pacific Coast Highway to set on fire a stretch of some of the most iconic and expensive homes in the state just steps away from the ocean. And that got a whole lot more attention and also caused many of these liberal celebrities to finally start questioning the political leadership in the state. There are some facts in this back and forth. In the last year of his first administration, Trump had issued an executive memorandum would have allowed the federal government to redirect millions of gallons of water to the Central Valley to Southern California. That water would be managed by a network of dams, canals, pumps, and tunnels. Absent this change, the water was just allowed to flow into the Pacific Ocean. Governor Newsom challenged the order and sued the administration to stop it, siding with environmentalists who opposed this water retention system because they argued it would imperil the smelt fish and other endangered salmon and steelhead. Then in the last days of the Biden administration, meaning in December, both Biden and Newsom reversed course and agreed to transfer water from Northern California to the Central Valley and other parts of the state, defying the environmentalists they had protected, and basically said, we're going to have to do this now. That policy wasn't implemented in time to boost water supplies to LA this week. And Trump was correct that water supplies to fight the Pacific Palisades fire ran short this week. By Wednesday night, local officials were openly acknowledging the problem in hundreds of inoperable fire hydrants in Pacific Palisades in the previous 24 hours because the continuous demand for water had simply depleted the nearby water cisterns supplying those hydrants. In other words, they ran out of water. Los Angeles Fire Department Chief Kristen Crowley acknowledged that firefighting in some areas in Pacific Palisades overnight had to be shut down because of a lack of water. Crowley said her department has the ability to pull water from ponds and backyard recreational pools in the area and was weighing their best option. Doesn't sound like a good one to me. Crowley, however, departed from the press conference before reporters give a chance to ask any questions. Wouldn't want to have to face the press. That seems to be a Democratic staple these days. One of those queries likely would have focused on a December 4th Crowley memo in which she complained to Mayor Bass that the mayor's cuts to the city fire budget, quote, severely limited the department's capacity to prepare for, train for, and respond to large-scale emergencies, including wildfires, end quote. She also said in that memo, quote, these budgetary reductions have adversely affected the department's ability to maintain core operations, such as technology and communication infrastructure, payroll processing, training, fire prevention, and community education, End quote. That's from the fire chief. But here's the reality of the situation. California and Los Angeles leaders have succumbed to environmentalists in just about everything they're confronted with. These capitulations are now being singled out as some of the root problems of the wildfires consuming entire neighborhoods in LA. I suspect we'll see more changes in the political map of California in the next couple of years. We saw in this last election more and more California counties turn pink, and many of them may turn red as the voter finally realizes having single party control in Sacramento and the major cities of the state, it's not working to their benefit. They may start voting some of these far-left idiots out of office and putting in some more reasonable people. This has been To My Liberal Friends. Thanks for listening.